everybody, it's Mahogany here, Kansas bred and cornbread fed. Welcome back to my channel. I definitely appreciate everyone for subscribing. I wanted to talk about sex toys today, but I do have my friend Dierra here today. She's one of my really great friends I've been knowing for a while. I think that her truth is just so significant, and a lot of people face it, and a lot of people are afraid to speak their truth about this. And she's woman enough to come on my show today to speak her truth about what she's been going through and what she's been facing in the past few years. So, hi Dierra, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hi,
so
guys.
Before we get started, it's time to sip up. How you doing today, Dierra?
I'm actually really blessed to be here and just to have another chance at living life the right way.
And why do you say that? Why do you feel so blessed? Like, can you kind of explain to my viewers, like, where you've been in the past year, even when, if you want to bring up with what happened with your father?
Okay, so the past 6 years have been really hard for me. I got into something that I never thought that I would, but just never say never. I actually got into drug addiction. Cocaine was my drug of choice. And so I was in that for so long, plus a toxic relationship, which makes you indulge more in drugs, more into alcohol.
So Dierra, how did you get introduced into cocaine?
It was actually a breakup with my boyfriend. I found out that he cheated.
That's definitely hard, and that'll make a bitch do anything.
Oh yes, it sure will make a bitch, because and I'm that person, you know. And then what women do, we get hurt, and then we do something stupid,
right?
Because we have to heal our pain, but really we just making it worse. Broke up with him, and he left. He did his thing, and then so I had a friend that came over, and he asked me if I wanted to try something, and I was like, no. First I was really skeptical about it, and then I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna just try it. What is it? And it was cocaine.
So how long after that determined that you were addicted? Because, you know, everyone's played around a little bit with drugs. Like for me, myself, I've tried cocaine before, but it wasn't like something that I would get addicted to because I've only tried it once.
Right.
So when did you determine like you were addicted?
It's not for everybody, just like people have other drug choices. Alcohol is a drug too.
Yeah.
You know, it can be, you can get addicted.
And wine.
So, back to what I was saying. I knew that I was addicted when nothing else mattered, not even my kids. You know, you stop paying your bills because you're spending money on that. You stop doing everything. Everything stops. All your money has to go to your addiction, which means that you're going to lose your house. You're going to lose your car. I lost my children. I regret it. But, you know, things change, not so fast for every addict, but, you know, being an addict, you will lose everything. I stopped working. You know, I can't be there. I gotta go get high. You know? Stupid.
Right.
Just plain ignorance. And some people weren't taught, but I definitely was. I grew up in church. So God was just whooping my ass. That's all I want to say.
So can you kind of elaborate just a little bit more on like one of your lowest points that you were before, because just to get everything straight, Dierra is actually clean now.
Yes.
She's been clean for over 6 months, and I'm very proud of her. And I want her to be able to express some of her lowest points so you guys can see her prosper in some of her greatest points.
Right.
And aspirations. So can you explain to my subscribers your lowest point on when you determined when you were going to change? Like, what was that breaking point? Like, I have to change.
So my breaking point is when I became homeless with my children. I was admitted into a domestic violence shelter because my relationship was toxic and abusive. So that's how I got into that. Me and my kids were staying there. I lost my kids because I was homeless. They tested me for drugs. I came up positive. I lost my kids, And my father committed suicide in September of 2019. And my kids, thank you. My kids and my father that's all I loved. I don't have a relationship as good with my other family, but I'm starting to, now that I can. So my lowest point was losing my father and my kids at the same time.
Yeah.
And that made me, I felt like I was dying. I felt crazy. I'm like, okay, this is it for me. I don't have anything to live for. Because when you're on drugs, what drugs do is they make you forget what you need to do in life. They make you forget how to be a mother. They make you forget how to be a responsible adult. So, furthermore, I lost everything.
So I understand that the steps of recovery can be hard, and it can be a very challenging state for someone so into the drugs to come out. What are some of the first steps of recovery that you took?
The first steps of recovery is admitting that you are powerless over drugs and alcohol. If you don't see the problem, you can't get help or help yourself. You have to admit, like, okay, I'm addicted, I've lost everything. It takes you to get at the bottom. Not for everyone, but a hard-headed like me. Gotta hit my head a couple of times.
Yeah.
I went through that wall last time. I went through it. I regret going through that wall though. Never again. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
So, first steps, be true with yourself and say, okay, I need to quit hitting them lines. Be true with yourself. You have to do it. If you don't do it, if you can't admit that you're sick, how are you going to get the medicine to make you get better?
And another thing that you mentioned too, that you also mentioned with being in a bad relationship, and that's also a part or a form of addiction. You get addicted to somebody's energy, you get addicted to them just being there, you actually even get addicted to them hitting you.
I was gonna say,
and that's crazy. that's
you
very
get addicted to abuse, pain, anger. You get addicted. You're used to it. Oh, yeah, it hurts. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You're not going to get a different result from doing the same thing.
Exactly.
You got to change. And so that was my breaking point. I was literally on my belly like, okay, Lord, I'm here. What? Tell me what to do.
So did you have anyone helping you along the way to make you feel better about things, or were you just doing it all alone?
I am in a new relationship, and I promise you it's a blessing. And he basically took me out of my fatal life. I was just drowning in depression and everything. And he took me out of my little life and completely turned me around. So it feels so good to be clean.
Yeah.
There's a lot of addicts out there that wish that they can get clean, and they just can't, because addiction is so powerful. It'll grab your whole life and throw it in the trash.
So can you talk about, I know you talked about losing your kids and your father. Is there some other things that you lost along the way as well?
I lost family, the ones who believed in me. And when you're on drugs, of course your family's like, oh, no, you need to get off of that. So you think they're going against you. As a drug addict, you're like, no, don't tell me what to do. I'm grown. I'm going to do it anyway. You either love me or hate me. No, that's not the attitude to have. Your family want to see you succeed, or they should. It's not the same story for everybody.
Right.
But my family are definitely behind me. And it took me to get off of drugs to apologize and realize that. And I don't take them for granted any longer.
So did you have to apologize to a lot of your family, or is it just certain family members that you had to? Or did you feel like you owed an apology to your entire family?
Not the entire family. But the ones that are behind me. And it's a lot of them. And they forgave me. And they're there for me. And they compliment me. They encourage me. Exactly what I needed. And I had it all along. But I forgot that.
So, is there anything that you want to say to any of my viewers out there who's facing the same thing, either addiction with drugs, addiction with relationships, or any form of addiction? Do you have any encouragement that you can say to them? Any steps that You know, that's something that you needed to hear when you were going through that. Is there anything that you can say to my viewers?
My name is Dierra, and I'm an addict, a recovering addict. And there's a lot of you in hiding, and I know why. It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, it's fun at the moment, but you're not happy. If any of you are watching and you want to get clean, do something about it immediately. Don't stop and put it off tomorrow, because you're going to go get that sack after you watch this. Don't do that. It's not worth it, sweetheart. Go get clean. Your family loves you. Your kids love you. People love you. You have a reason to be sober. And that's all.
I definitely appreciate you, Dierra, again, for being able to come on my show and speak your truth. Did you want to speak about anything else?
I think I'm good.
Alrighty, well, definitely thank you. And I love you, and I love you for being so courageous, for being on here. And if anyone needs any help with their addiction or any struggles that you guys are facing, we can please reach out to me, and I can definitely assist you with getting some help further. And with Dierra, she definitely has a few resources that she can provide me that I'll be able to provide to you guys out there if you guys are needing help and with anything that you guys are facing addiction with. I definitely appreciate you guys for watching my show today. So before we start the song, I do want to go ahead and do our raffle today. So I do have our winners here, and I'll be announcing on my next week's show. So after listening to Dierra's testimony, I just felt like it was the perfect time for me to introduce you guys to my song. I made this song about 2 years ago, and I think it goes perfect with what she was speaking about. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Please keep in mind I do not own the copyrights to this beat, but the lyrics are all mine. So definitely like, share, and subscribe. I hope y'all like it. Addiction is pain, addiction is real. I thought I was addicted to your love, that shit was killed. Looking down at our pictures, I could still feel the moment you laid eyes on me, that shit was real. If it's to kill, I would die right now, just to avoid the pain I feel right now. They say time heals wounds, but that shit ain't real. I still feel the pain. Where the fuck is the Novocaine? The fact of addiction, of being addicted, is something hard, real hard, but you gotta admit it. We had love for another, but we missed it. Damn, I love you, but I'm too addicted. I hope you guys like. Make sure you guys tune in, because I definitely will be putting the winners of my show, of the raffle, on my next episode. So tune in.
I heard that dreams do come true, but the only way your dream gon' come true if you go and get it. If you go and get it. I heard that dreams do come true, but the only way your dream gon' come true if you go and get it. If you go and get it. I heard that dreams do come true. So no matter your goals, no matter the obstacles, don't let nothing stop you from doing whatever you do. I heard that dreams is a real thing. So whether you rap or sing, my nigga, do your thing. From anybody that say different, pay them no never mind, cause they trippin'. They be the first ones to run up when you on top. Got their hands out now, trying to give you props. Just remain humble and keep smiling. All the while your money keep piling. I heard the dreams do come true, but the only way your dream gon' come true if you go and get it. If you go and get it.